When many people think of Appalachian history, they think of Daniel Boone crossing the Cumberland Gap, bringing with him European, Anglo, and German people to shape the wilderness. But the lives that shape Appalachian history are much more diverse than that. In this storytelling project, we have folk tales from Anglo origins, but also stories from Syrian, Cherokee, African American, and Italian sources come to life. All these stories shape Appalachian history, especially here in eastern Kentucky. Herein is this weaving of stories from all sorts of Appalachians.
Well, it was during the coal boom in the early teens, I would say. My Uncle Frank Mongiardo, the first one to come here in eastern Kentucky. And then I believe my father and the other brother followed him. They started opening up coal mines, and they built their drift mouths out of stone, the opening of a mine. But before then, they followed the L&N Railroad. They'd done work for the L&N Railroad to build culverts and bridges from Jackson to Typo here in Hazard. I guess the railroad, the first train was in Hazard 1912. My father came in here in 1910. And my Uncle Frank and I don't remember when he was here, maybe 2 or 3 years earlier. Frank, my cousin Frank might know the date that he come over. After then, they started building schools, buildings, houses out of stone. And my dad had a group of Italian stonemasons that worked for him and done most of the work. And native people to learn a trade, a stonemasonry, building houses and so forth. Now, they build the Hayden High School out of stone. They built the Robinson School. My daddy built the Robinson School here in Perry County. The Hyman High School, and he done some work for the Hyman Settlement School. I believe they built the courthouse at Hyman, still standing there with Carl Perkins' statue right in front of it. And they done most of the stonework in Perry, Leslie, Letcher, Knott County, and different counties.
And they taught local folks how to do it.
That's right. That was their purpose, to teach the local people how to cut and lay stone, which was very hard work.
Right.
Now, they didn't have any equipment. The only thing they used was mules, hand derricks. I asked my dad how they handle those big rocks. Well, they used to have hooks.
Just like an ice pick?
Yeah, like an ice pick. And a hand crank or whatever they had to lift them up and put them in place.
Would it take several people on that crank, or was it fixed in a way that they could crank it?
Well, I would say 1 man or 2 men could do it, yeah.
That sounds
I've
dangerous.
never seen it. No,
Yeah, it sounds dangerous, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if you go up here, the next railroad bridge you see. Now you see those big rocks with the holes on each side where they hooked them.
You can still see the points where the pick went into them to hold them.
Right.
So every place in the mountains here, you see a stone, like a stone trestle for a railroad, or a stone bridge for automobiles, or a stone house or building. That's probably from the Italian people.
They're the one that done it, yes. Yeah.
So, among all the people that lived here, probably the Italians leave a longer mark than any other
they did.
People that came in here.
That's right, they did. I was born in Italy. My dad come back from here after several years. He come back in Italy and got married. And they wanted to bring the family here in the mountains because they say that the place is still not, they're just now beginning to develop it. Then in 1938, when Hitler began to invade Europe, he seen the danger, so he got us to come here in the United States. And I landed in New York, and then I took the train, me and my mother and my sister, took the train from New York to Winchester. Not Winchester, and from Winchester to Hazard. We still had a train here in Hazard.
Right.
That went to Wattsburg, all the way to Winchester to Wattsburg. And I never forget the time I first come on the street of Hazard. And all the people, they were so friendly, nice to everybody. I mean, they were just friendly people. I never seen anything like it. And I guess we've been friends, all the people here in Perry County, we've been friends ever since I got here.
Do you remember, what was the town that you were from in Italy?
Okay, San Andrea.
And where's that? San Andrea?
That's the southern part of Italy, right on the toe.
Right on the toe.
Right next to the sea, the Ionic Sea. Beautiful place, real nice place.
From the sea to the mountains you moved.
Yeah. Well, we have mountains over there also.
Oh, yes. In Italy you have Apennine Mountains. and
we got the Apennine Mountains, and of course the mountains in Calabria there.
Right where you live.
Yeah, right. The kids used to go in the sea to swim, and they were during the slavery, that the Turkish used to come over there and steal those kids off the seashore and took them to Turkey and sold them. Now, one of my, I guess, great-grandfather that was stolen on the seashore, they took him to Turkey and sold it to a rich family. And years later, they served chestnuts, their specialty, chestnuts. And he said, well, in my hometown, they feed those chestnuts to the hogs. He said, would you go over there if they sent a ship over there and buy some of those chestnuts? Well, sure, I'll do that. So they own some ships, that big wealthy family. So they sent him with a crew over there at San Andrea to get the chestnuts. So he told those ship crews, say, you stay right here and I'll hire some mules or donkeys. I'll bring the chestnuts over. Give me the money. So when he got far away, so he could get away from them, he just done this to him. And he went on to the town of San Andrea from the north, coming down from the mountains. And he was dressed in Turkish clothes. And everybody hollers, hey, there's the Turks are coming. They all start running away, And it happened to be him. Now, they nicknamed our family on my mother's side the Turks because of that.
And that stuck.
That stuck.
But I understand that the mandolin is an Italian instrument.
It is beautiful. Well, beautiful music. Yeah. I remember some of the young folks used to play the mandolin. My favorite instrument.
Is it
Right.
sort of an icon for music here in America, that
That's
bluegrass
right.
music and the mandolin and Bill Monroe?
I went to school in Hazard System. We had Mr. Everso, Roy G. Everso, one of the finest men you ever see. And he took me in, and of course, it was during the war, and he knew that some of the bigger boys would try to harm me in some way. So he went and got all the bullies in the classes, and I want you to watch Jimmy there. Help him. If anybody trying to harm him, you take care of them. And I noticed that everywhere I went, those three guys were right with me.
They had a
Bullies.
special. He was smart, wasn't he?
Yes.
They had a
And
special job.
everybody was so nice to me. And he hired a special teacher to translate the Italian to English, and for about a couple of months. Then I caught on and didn't need a special teacher after then, because I started learning the English language.
That was a great ploy of him to have the
Yes.
bullies protect you.
Right. See, I didn't know that was going on until afterwards, years later. He was teaching Sunday school, and he told that to the
How
the
he handled
class.
that. I guess it would have been tough during wartime for
It was.
immigrant and
Sure.
Italians. They
Italian-
wanted to take their things out on them.
Because, Italy joined Hitler to fight the United States, which it was a no-no with the Italian people. No.
They didn't support that as much
No.
as it.
No, the Italian people did not support Hitler or Mussolini. In fact, if you remember, the people killed Mussolini afterwards.
Tell about the signature of your dad, the
Okay.
stonemason.
Every time my father built a building, either a school or, mostly schools, the entrance would be an arch, and that left his signature, like you see over there.
Right. He has one in the store here, a big arch and big stones.
It's in the wine cellar.
Yeah. Beautiful. And your father's name again?
Dominic.
Dominic
Mongiardo.
Mongiardo. If you ever see that arch anywhere, you know Dominic has been there.
That's right.
And wherever you see the stone, a stone building, stone bridge, you'll know that Italian folks have been through and left their mark on this land.
That's right.